So the next thing we have was a Xbox partner preview. Now, I can jump ahead to some of the stuff here. So I have Yakuza to start. So there's a Yakuza game, and I gotta be honest, every time I see Yakuza, it's like a very, oh my goodness, it's so silly, but like probably in the best way possible.
Yeah, I've
like,
not played any of them. I've heard good things about these games in general, but they're very like parts of them seem like they're actually like really serious and have like a story and like good characters, and other parts it's just like full like memery, like mini game nonsense. Like,
which I appreciate the silliness. I do appreciate the silliness in these. So but this was so the first game here is obviously Yakuza. So we had Yakuza Infinite Wealth. I mean, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. For early next year. We have look, I'm gonna be straight with you, Spoon. A lot of these other games I don't really know. I had no idea existed or just forgot about. This one is like you're on like an oil rig. It looks like.
It looks like an oil rig, yeah.
Maybe a little bit of like.
It's like a horror. It looks like a horror game.
Yeah, it looked like a horror game. So Still Wakes the Deep. Maybe a horror game there. Shoot. Let me just. I forgot what this one was. There was like a RoboCop. So there's a RoboCop in here.
RoboCop, yeah.
I forgot the name of it, but it was a RoboCop game, like Rogue Company or something. Rogue City, there it is. RoboCop Rogue City, which by the way is coming out next week. Just like I guess like a first-person shooter game, which, you know, first-person shooter games. Now, I'm seeing it. Maybe, yeah, it's a first-person shooter. Okay, I was thinking maybe part of me was like, is it on rails at all? Because he's moving at like a very it's okay. It's a first-person shooter. Got it. So RoboCop first-person shooter.
It's a weird one to me because like, man, RoboCop is an old property
at
this point, and it's not like they've made a new RoboCop movie anytime recently or anything like that.
Right.
RoboCop, I heard the like, you know, the creator of this game, it was just like a huge fan of RoboCop or something like that.
Sure.
So, you know, who knows?
You know what? Go for it. Like, pick the stuff you're really excited about. I have not seen a RoboCop game in quite some time. As you said, the brand is not exactly new. It was 80s, and then there was a recent RoboCop, but that wasn't a very good movie. I mean, I don't know. Like, we'll see. I really don't know. Like, if this is something that's like on Game Pass and you like first person shooters, or you know, maybe you just do it. Like, you're like, yeah, okay, RoboCop first person shooter, whatever. Like, sure, I'll give it a shot. I don't know. You never know. So now we have, oh god, Dungeons of Hinterberg. That's it. What an interesting art style. First off, what an interesting style of game.
The art style's kind of cool. I kind of like it. I was a little worried because some of the gameplay they showed, especially like when they were in combat and a lot of stuff was going on, like the game looked really framey to me.
It is.
I'm like, man, it's laggy. Like,
yeah, it's really laggy in combat. I'm hoping that's not what you're gonna get when the game releases, but
yeah, I think this game still has a little bit before it comes out, so they got time to fix that. But yeah, that combat did not look like it ran very well.
No, it
which
didn't.
Was not great.
But it's an interesting style of game, to say the least. So, okay, 2024. Who knows when? Got time.
Yeah, they got time to fix
that. This was an interesting one. This was Spirit of the North. So it looks like you play as like a
Spirit of the North 2.
Oh, Spirit of the North 2. Thank you. Spirit of the North 2.
I didn't know there was a first one before I saw this.
Could have fooled me, but it's just like, looks like you play as, like, I don't know which one you play as, but there's the fox and then this, couldn't tell if it was a bird or something. It looks like a butterfly. Oh, it's a bird. Okay.
It's some type of bird.
Thank God. The way it was flapping its wings, I thought it was a butterfly first. So you know, Maybe like a exploration-based game, maybe some puzzles.
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, those games are interesting. Okay, we got a little bit more. Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater. First in-engine look. Okay, let's let this play out a bit. I mean, looks great. Pre-alpha footage, but looks great.
Graphically looks nice.
Yep. Oh my god. Yeah, it looks very good. Mm-hmm. Get that stealth. Love it. I mean, it looks really nice. This was Unreal Engine 5, by the way. They mentioned it at the end. I mean, Metal Gear Solid, I just want to say, and I don't want to say this is a sweeping generalization, but I will. I do think that we need this kind of stealth game. These kinds of stealth games, I do think that there's a huge... I like these kinds of stealth games where stealth is a big part of the experience, how you go about it. I just want to give some context. I'm still playing Red Dead Redemption 2, and there are stealth parts of that game. And I kind of wish there were not stealth parts of that game, because the stealth doesn't work very well. I was in a train car, and they're like, hide behind a train car seat. My head, here's where the seat is. My head's poking out. Look like a freaking peacock over here. I'm sticking out. There's a guy 10 feet from me, and he's like, nobody here. And it just completely ruined the stealth experience. I was like, okay, fuck this. Just get me through this. This is not working for me. Like, I was kind of with you so far with like trying to maneuver on guards, and then my head was poking out from behind a chair, and they're like, oh, looks clear. And I'm just like, dude, you can see my whole face. I'm like, okay. So I do, my point is, I do like that. I do like these kinds of stealth games coming in here where you have like, you're pre-planning your stealth, but you're pre-planning your routes, figuring out how you want to go about it. I do think that there's desire
I feel like
here.
there haven't been one of these in quite a while, to be honest. Like, you used to have like, I don't know if a bunch, but some of these back in the day, like back when this originally came out on the Snake Eater, that was a PS2 game, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you used to have like Metal Gear Solid, Splinter Cell was an old like stealth series.
Yeah, sure. Those ones are just... I'm not saying Red Dead's not a stealth game too, to be fair. That's like it's an aspect of it that's just there. But like, we played Assassin's Creed games, and there's some... Previously, they were stealth games.
Those used to be like
those
stealth
used
games,
to be stealth games.
They're not.
And like
not
planning
anymore.
your route to assassinate somebody, and now you're not doing that. So like, I don't know. My point is like, maybe a little bit more stealth, tactical based games are nice to see. It's nice to see it, because I feel like the stealth that I play in some of these games that are not stealth games, I'm just like, my head's poking out from behind a chair. Guy can't see me. I'm like, okay. He can see me. So anyway, I don't know. That's exciting. I think it's really cool. I've never played a Metal Gear game, by the way. Maybe I play one, so I can get the experience. Here's an interesting one. So this one,
yeah, this one looked kind of cool to me.
This one was interesting. Let me get the name. So this is Manor Lords. So this is coming in spring next year, 26th of April. I don't know. This was interesting. It's like you're building your town here, right? But it's not really like real-time strategy to me, or is it? Is this a real-time strategy game is what I'm getting at?
I think parts of it are like
maybe.
The combat looks real time, and near the end of the trailer they show some like more combat, and it looked Total War-ish.
Exactly.
You had like a formation of units, and like, and it probably won't be quite the huge scale that Total War is, but like this looks a lot like Total War.
That was Total War.
You have these like formations of units, and you're like commanding like regiments of units and stuff like that. So,
so there was the part of it that it looked like, okay, There's a real-time strategy segment where maybe you're like in your town fighting off, you know, forces.
Bandits
Yeah,
or whatever.
bandits. And then you get to this Total War segment where you have your formations, right? Interesting game. Interesting game. This one caught my eye.
Yeah, caught my eye too. I'm interested on it. I mean, it's gonna be on PC Game Pass, so I may check that out when it comes out.
For sure. Interesting game. Okay. Now, I know you're excited. We have another VR game. Remember when I said that there can be too much of one game, and I was referring to Souls-likes, and then I said, well, maybe there wasn't. Maybe Souls-likes is fine, right? But then we said sports games. Yeah, I think we can calm down with the BRs now. I think we're good.
I mean, like the BRs feel played out to me. There's kind of three big ones, and if you're any other one trying to break into the market, I think you're gonna have trouble. Like you got Fortnite, which is the biggest. You got Apex, and you got Call of Duty.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
And those are kind of the three.
We've seen some other BRs recently try and come out. Ubisoft's tried to work, and that was bad. You know, that didn't work out. I know that there's some other smaller ones like Realm Royale, I guess, still is a kind of a thing on a small scale. I just feel like we don't need more BRs because the market has found its place. So
I heard I actually saw a news item, I don't know, it was like yesterday, that like, because I think they're having a beta for this right now, or like started right after this thing. And apparently the beta was like pretty darn popular. It said like their servers got like overloaded by like how popular the beta was. So
I will admit there's going to be a spike, right? There's always going to be kind of a spike, especially in a game like maybe like this that like, okay, looks pretty cool, looks free to play,
open beta, whatever.
I'm going to give it a shot. That being said, I'm still not giving this any chance, because people are going to jump in it, they're going to play it, they're going to be like, that was fun, go back to my other BR.
Yeah.
And it's going to be that. And I hate to see it. You know, if it works, this works, and it could be the fourth BR in this market of like 3 out of 4. Sure, why not? But I just don't think it's gonna work out. I feel like it's gonna get all the hype at the beginning. You remember that game? It was like kind of like Halo, but you could make portals.
Oh, Slipgate.
Slipgate. Remember that? That was supposed to be all the hype. Ever heard of that recently? Nope. Because people play it, they try it, they're like, yeah, that was fun. Let me go back to the other game that I'm like focused on. Let me go back to my main game, or something else comes up that's exciting. Like, this is going to happen. It's going to get a lot of excitement. People are going to say, maybe they're like, oh yeah, this was fun. But ultimately, it's got to be so good to pull someone from their original BR. It's got to be so good. And I just don't. I see like 99% chance this fails. That's where I'm at with this.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yes, people might check it out for like this beta, or you know, when it drops eventually on if it's free to play, people will probably check it out. But I agree how people will stick around. I mean, the same thing happened with BRs and MOBAs before it. It was like, you know, everyone was trying to make a MOBA when like League and then like Dota 2 caught on.
Yeah.
But it pretty much is like League, Dota 2, and Smite.
And it's Smite.
Those are
those
three. Those are kind of the three. Yep. Heroes gave it a shot. You know, it's Activision Blizzard. They got a lot of money, so they gave it a shot. And that game had like a community.
It did. But it wasn't big, but it did.
Blizzard decided it wasn't worth it, so they kind of killed it.
But I think that's what's going to happen here. And you know what? This game could be great. It could be really fun. People are going to jump in. It's free. Sure. But you got to pull that person away from Fortnite, Apex, or Call of Duty. And or just like give them enough interest to pick up a fourth game. Because I'm guessing some of those BR people, they swap between them, right? They're going to be like, okay, I'll pay Apex today, Call of Duty tomorrow. You got to somehow squeeze yourself into that. Don't forget about PUBG, by the way. PUBG exists.
Oh yeah, PUBG.
So
I always forget about that one.
yeah, I don't see it. I don't see this one, but the only way this will work is if there's a group of Battle Royale people and they're like, I want to play like multiple at once. You got to get enough interest in that group, I think, to be able to get them to pick this up as one of their like 2 or 3. I think is what I see. I don't see it working though. But anyway,
yeah,
not surprised there's interest. This is Ark, by the way. Neither of us play Ark. We got some Ark information here for Ark Survival Ascended. Great. And then we have Alan Wake. We have some Alan Wake gameplay, which they capped this off with. You got some Alan Wake here. So, obviously, we haven't played Alan Wake, but I mean, like I said, I think it might be something I try at some point. It looks kind of interesting, and the reviews are promising. So, that was it for this partner preview. I will say that there are a couple things that caught my interest. The Manor Lords was interesting. Obviously, Metal Gear is always going to get that.
Manor Lords for sure. That was kind of the only thing in here that really caught my interest.
Sure thing. Manor Lords and what I say, the
Metal Gear.
Metal Gear. Yeah, I mean, but it's Metal Gear. Metal Gear's Metal Gear. People are going to have some interest, right?
I mean, it's a remake of an old game too, so
yeah. And it looks great. Look great with Unreal Engine 5. Wish more people would just use Unreal Engine 5, but it is what it is. Okay. Anything else for the Xbox partner preview?